Welcome. Today is Monday, March 18th, and today in sports history, in 1892, Frederick Arthur, Lord Stanley of Preston, announced that he had purchased a trophy to be presented to the hockey champion of Canada, and thus the Stanley Cup was born. In 1945, Maurice "Rocket" Richard became the first NHL player to score 50 goals in a season, and in 1953, the National League owners approved the first Major League franchise shift since 1903 as the Braves moved from Boston to Milwaukee. That's right, ask your grandfather about it because they've now been in Atlanta since 1966. On the diamond, there are only 13 days left until opening day, and it's crunch time for those of you in keeper leagues, with many of you having to decide who you will protect and who you won't. With Reds still mulling over whether Aroldis Chapman will begin the year in the rotation or as the team's closer, Jonathan Broxton waits in limbo. Broxton, who has yet to allow a run in 4 innings this spring, would in fact be the team's closer for what's expected to be a very good Reds team if Chapman ends up starting, but Reds GM Walt Jocketty and manager Dusty Baker are still fighting it out. Chapman says he wants to close, Dusty Baker wants him to close, but Jocketty wants the hard-throwing lefty to start. We'll soon find out who's wearing the pants in Cincinnati, and this one may come right down to your league's deadline for submitting your protected roster. So watch the wire closely. This decision will determine whether Broxton is a relevant fantasy closer or virtually a useless setup guy. Coming off shoulder surgery, Ryan Zimmerman finally made his spring debut at the hot corner. Zimmerman has been consistently the 5th third baseman coming off the board after David Wright. Speaking of Wright, with the possibility of both he and Daniel Murphy not being ready for opening day, the Mets will turn to utility man Justin Turner and Jordany Valdespin to step in. While Turner doesn't have any fantasy value to speak of, Valdespin could prove to be an intriguing option. Expect the free swinger to get the opportunity for plenty of at-bats this season. Even when Murphy returns, the Mets plan to play him quite a bit in the outfield. It's not out of the question that Valdespin can play his way into the starting lineup on a permanent basis, providing you with some power and speed. In most leagues, he qualifies at both second and outfield. Angels first baseman Albert Pujols is now playing the field and running the bases, recovering from off-season knee surgery. Pujols is currently ranked 7th in NFBC rankings, which is about where you can expect him to go in your leagues. And finally, it's now being reported that Yankees first baseman Mark Teixeira may miss the entire season due to surgery because of an injury not to the tendon in his wrist, but to the sheath. I don't even know what that is. In fact, I'm not even sure I have a sheath. But I do know this doesn't sound good. This would be a similar injury to what Jose Bautista had last season. Don't even think about taking Teixeira early on, even if he doesn't have the surgery. Good luck with your NCAA brackets, everyone, and memo to the alumni department at St. John's University, my alma mater. My check is in the mail. You can expect to receive it the next time you guys make the tournament. For RotoExperts, I'm Mike Cardano. Be sure to go to RotoExperts.com and purchase your exclusive Edge Fantasy Baseball package. Your championship is waiting.